We start getting in our first pre-opening rates. Let's actually go back to that important conversation that our colleague Malvika Jain had with the RBI Governor Shaktikanta. He was speaking on a whole host of issues. Now, Governor Das has been ranked as a top central banker by US-based Global Finance magazine. Malvika caught up with him in Washington, D.C., and the governor sounded fairly optimistic on growth, saying that inflation has started moderating and that there are significant risks to the outlook on inflation. Take a look.
Inflation management, price stability is our primary responsibility, keeping in mind the objective of growth. At the moment, as we stated in the last monetary policy statement, as I have said, the growth and inflation component of our mandates are well balanced, they are well poised. So therefore, we changed our stance to neutral. Now we have flexibility. We have now flexibility to watch the incoming trends and to sort of assess the evolving outlook and decide on what policy we will take. Now, growth is doing well. Inflation also has started moderating, and we expect the inflation to moderate as we go into November, December, and into the last quarter of this financial year. We expect the inflation to moderate, but then there are significant risks. I have stated it in my monetary policy.
Right.
Significant risks, again, arising out of geopolitical conflicts, out of geoeconomic fragmentation, weather-related events, and certain data which was released by the FAO with regard to food commodities and by the World Bank with regard to certain commodities like metal prices and all. They have shown quite a bit of uptick. So therefore, there are significant risks to the inflation outlook. We expect and we are reasonably confident that inflation is moderating, but then there are significant risks. So we have to be very careful. And we are in such a place, such a position where growth and inflation is so sort of well balanced that any premature move can upset that balance and, can affect our objective of achieving an inflation to reach the target of 4% or go close to 4% target.
So, sir, if I could summarize that, you feel that the growth momentum will continue and inflation is likely to come down.
That's right.
And until and unless there are some external factors which are beyond the control of the domestic economy, we could see a rate cut in the coming year.
No, rate cut, when it will come, I would not like to comment.
Okay.
I think that will be a giveaway. And again, in all seriousness, I think it depends on the incoming data. And based on the incoming data, what kind of assessment, what kind of outlook, because inflation, monetary policy making is always forward looking.
Right.
We have to see what is the situation 6 months down the road, what is the situation 1 year down the road. So based on that, we determine and decide the future outlook. So based on that assessment, we will take a decision. I cannot give as to when we will do a rate cut or we will not do a rate cut. I cannot say. But we expect inflation to moderate. We have to be very careful. We have to be very watchful of the evolving outlook. And we should not do, as I said, again, I'm repeating, we should not do anything in a haste, which will sort of, again, put us back in our objective of achieving the inflation target. In fact, interestingly, the household, the inflation expectations of households are also well anchored at the moment, because the household inflation expectations are, moderating for almost every round of survey. The household expectations are moderating by 10 or 20 basis points for the last 2 years. So we are therefore we are maintaining constant visit. We are watchful. We have to evaluate the risks and see how the risks are playing out. And based on that, when we have greater confidence of the inflation aligning with the target, that would be a time where we will see.
Okay, all right. Well, you can hear from the RBI governor on various issues, moderating inflation, but the risks around it and the domestic economy doing well, positive, significantly outweighing negatives when it comes to festive season demand. Catch excerpts from their exclusive interaction with the RBI governor all day here on CNBC-TV18.